your gym is kind of, to me, your gym is kind of like a private school. You're not the big box gyms, and you've got people that care.
Hey there, Coach Devin here, and I am super pumped to have Mark Publicover on with me today. Now, Mark is a new member to 360 Fit. We actually ran this competition thing, for like 10 or 15 people in the end of October, and basically we gave them a free month of. We're trying to introduce people to the gym, right? Who hadn't come to our gym before, might be a little nervous to come to the gym. So what we did is we gave them a free month membership. We gave them 2 free personal training sessions. The idea is kind of, see if they like it, see how they do with it. And Mark applied, I think, on Facebook, and Mark was, we kind of hit it off right away. So Mark, welcome. It is great to see you, brother.
Oh, thanks, man. Good to be doing this with you.
All right. So what, the first time, I remember, talk to me a little bit, because we've talked a few times about this. Right. Talk to me and tell everybody a little bit about how you felt. Like, I mean, you saw it on, I think, Facebook right away. What was the first thing that went through your head?
Yeah, so I was laying on the bed, and the sun was shining in, and I saw this ad, and I've been following you guys for like 3 years, and I kept saying to myself, one of these days I am gonna jump on this and go to 360 Fit. And the day that you posted that, it was only up for maybe like 5 minutes, and I said, you know what, screw it. I worked up the courage, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to click on it. I'm going to say, I'm down. Let's do this. And that's how it started. I think Beth reached out to me like the next day and set it all up, and have been going strong since then.
All right. So you used a good term there, which is courage. And I think that's important. Some people who, trainers who have been in the industry for a long time, maybe don't always understand that one. I say all the time, and I'm not a real nervous guy. I don't have anxiety, but when I travel, I always go to new gyms. And when I go to new gyms, I always feel that little bit of it's nerves, it's whatever, because I don't, I've never been in there before. You're pretty new to fitness. So tell me about how that feels the first time, because we've had clients that have said they've come to the parking lot 3 times and had to leave before they could come in, people that sat in their car and had to talk themselves into coming. Walk me through the process for you, because you're pretty new to this, right? And I think that'll speak, a lot of people understand where you would be coming from.
Right, for sure. And to be truthful, like over the last 3 years, like I pass your gym on a daily basis going to and from work. And there's been at least twice that I've actually pulled into the parking lot, and, it's like 9 o'clock at night. I'm just getting off work, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to pull in the parking lot and just sort of have a look at this place, or just get comfortable with pulling in the parking lot. And so I think I did that twice in the last 3 years. And anyway, this time Beth had set it all up, and I pulled in the parking lot, and I sat in the car for, I don't know, man, probably must have been 5 or 10 minutes. And I don't know if it was working up the nerve to go in, or yeah, I guess it was. I was just kind of nervous. I didn't know what I was going to be walking into exactly. Was it going to be, I don't know, a bunch of meatheads in there? And as soon as I walked in, it was going to be like everybody stares at the new fat guy walking through the door. And it was pretty much the exact opposite. Once I grabbed my bag and got out of the car and came through the front door, like Beth was there. Well, actually, I think you were there sitting at the desk, and hey, how's it going, man? And then Beth came over, and we went through, like, she asked me a bunch of health questions, what my goals were, which I didn't know what else to put on the forms. It was like, help me lose weight. That was it.
I like that. I like that.
And so it's that's kind of how it started. It took a lot of looking at Facebook posts that you've been posting, and a lot of driving by and thinking about it before I finally bit the bullet. But I'm glad I did.
Do you ever think that, I mean, you came from you are in a position right now, you want to lose weight, right? Were you, talk to me a little bit about how that runs through your head? Because for a person like me, all right, I have been in, I've been working out since I was 14. I haven't been there before. And I think I'm not the norm, right? Most people don't start exercising in 14 and never stop.
Mhm.
That's not a normal person. And I think it's interesting. What I'd like to hear about is talk to me a little bit about you, because I know you have goals. You want to lose weight, you want to get
Yeah.
more fit, but just talk to me
Mhm.
in general about, first off, what the goals are, and second off, how you got yourself to the point where you're like, all right, I'm ready to do this.
Yeah, totally, man. I mean, that's easy to talk about because, like, for me, over the years, I've heard people say, "Oh man, I'm getting winded going up the stairs, and it's hard to run or play basketball with the kids." And I never really got that. I mean, my body, my lungs, I guess, everything was still able to manage until recently. And like, I don't know, 4 or 5 or 6 weeks ago, I'm coming up the stairs and I'm breathing heavy. And I'm like, Jesus, this is not good. Like my son wants to go in the backyard and kick a soccer ball around. And I mean, he kicks it every different direction than toward me. So, and I'm not running to get the ball. I'm sighing, I'm going, kind of rolling my eyes in my head, which I shouldn't be. And then I'm walking over to wherever the ball ends up and booting it back to him. But like, I don't want that. I want to, run over to the ball, or, if he's throwing a football, again, he's throwing footballs and they don't go anywhere near me. He's 6 years old, right? He's having fun. And I love that. I mean, kid, he should be having fun, but I need to be on the other end of that, reciprocating the fun, and I'm not able to do that. So like, that was kind of the turning point for me. I guess it speaks a little bit to my motivation and my goals, is that I want to be able to uh play with the kids. But there's also things that I want to do for myself, right? Like, in one of my little Facebook videos, I talked about it a little bit, and it's like, yeah, when I was younger, I used to water ski, and like, I'll be damned if a boat can get me out of the water now on two skis. But that's a goal. That's maybe this summer. I mean, we'll see how many inches I lose, but I'd like to get in the water behind a boat, have it haul me out of the water, and be able to water ski. I mean, probably I'm not going to last long. My arms will get sore, and again, it's using muscles probably I haven't used in 1,000 years, but I want to water ski. And like, wearing jeans, man, I haven't wore jeans in forever. It's just, if I bought a pair of jeans that actually fit around my waist, they look like clown pants on me at this point. And I mean, so I've got a pair of Levi's jeans with the button up fly that uh, I bought in Montreal when I had first met my wife. And there, I still have them in the house. I could probably go dig them out right now. I know where they are. Haven't wore them in 20 years, but I'm gonna wear those again. I'm damn sure gonna wear those again.
See, and I
So
love those. I love those goals, because the goals are not like, as a trainer, and I've been like 28 years into doing this now. As a trainer, it's not as exciting. And somebody says, I want to have abs. You can do that for somebody. But when somebody's like, I want to, play with my kids, I want to, wear a pair of pants that I've never worn before. That, to me, that's a really cool goal, because
mm,
it's measurable. It's right there in front of you. You know what it is. You know that this is real, and when you got to it. And it is a lifestyle. I don't know, I always put it as this way: it's a lifestyle goal. It's a goal
mm,
where it's going to matter to you when you get there, and it's exciting to you, and it's personal to you, right? I mean, having abs, I mean, in reality, how exciting is that? I guess
I mean, don't get
okay,
me
right?
wrong. I'd like to have abs. I've had a keg
Okay,
for I don't
fair.
know how many years, but yeah, abs would be all right. But at this stage in the game, I would just like to, get stronger and healthier and faster, and shake off a bunch of this weight. You
So
know,
how did you, when you first started, so we've been doing this like a month now, roughly, right? Almost.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
think I think we pretty well hit a month.
So about 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks ago, we did some measurements for you. Well, we originally had measurements about 2 weeks ago, so we're gonna do them again this week. You were down like 10 inches the first time I measured you, I guess the second time I measured you. And
Right.
I remember you were amazed that you were down 10 inches. You couldn't believe it. But then you said afterwards, which I think is telling, you're like, well, actually my pants at work, they fit a lot better. Tell me about that story, because I thought that kind of, like, I tell people all the time, your clothes aren't changing. They are what they are. And if they're looser, you're winning. And I thought you kind of put it on, you hit it right on the nose when you told. So tell me that story again.
Yeah, totally, man. It's well, so I've got a pair of like brown khaki work pants, but for years now they've always had a little stretchy elastic in the waistband, uh, almost like jogging pants, I guess, if you will. And so like I could keep getting bigger, and my work pants kept fitting, which is probably not a good thing. But like 2 months ago, I'm going to work and I'm sitting down, and there's no giving those pants anymore. Like I have stretched the elastic to the point where it's screaming, "Give me mercy." And so, like,
That's awesome.
I mean, it's true. It's true, man. Like, I don't know how in God's name that button hasn't blown clean off those pants at this point. Like, uh, but I'm to the point now, like in the last, so like 6 weeks ago, I started using the MyFitnessPal app and tracking my calories and slowly working my way down, finding places where I was eating too many calories and trying to find substitutions to get my calories down. And so between that and being at the gym almost every day for the last month, there's been days where I've missed the gym time, or days where my knees hurt, and my arms hurt, and I'm just like, you know what, I need a recovery day. But for the most part, I've been going to the gym every day. And yeah, like when you measured me, I've got some give in those pants, which I guess is the telling sign that things are going in the right direction. It's I mean, I can slide my hand down my drawers now. Not that I do that very often, but it's but yeah, man, it's nice to have some give there. Like even my white lab coat that I have to wear at work, like the buttons on that, I couldn't button it up. And over the years, I kept getting bigger sizes. Well, all right, I need a 2X 15 years ago. Then somewhere along the way, when we ordered new lab coats, it was, well, grab me a 3X. It'll just give me a little extra room there. And now, I'm into a 4X, and the 4X wasn't buttoning. Well, that 4X is now buttoning, and I'm aiming to get that 3X to button, right? I mean, it's going to be good when it starts going in the other direction, and it has started. It's a slow process. I mean, it's not going to be an overnight thing. I get that. It took a lot of years to get this big. I'm not looking for miracles. I'm just looking to start the process of going in the right direction.
So something that you do, which is super cool, and I think, and I know you don't realize how cool it is. I talk to you about this all the time. So Mark does, probably 2 or 3 times a week, he'll make a video on Facebook and just talk about his experiences at the gym, how he's doing it, and how he feels. And it's a cool thing. They're all on if you want to take a look at it, they're all on my Facebook page because Mark tags me in them. And what I think is cool about it, you're completely honest and straightforward. Part of the reason I like you is because you're just who you are. And that is, to me, super cool, because I love people who are no nonsense. It's just like, this is who I am. If you like me, great. If you don't. And that's why I think part of the reason we clicked. My wife is very similar to you. She just says what's on her mind. I love that about people. I like it a lot. Like right away, as soon as we met, I was like, I like that guy.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, the thing is, like, man, when you're young, you're always like trying to be cool and, fitting in with the crowd and, keeping your friends. And man, I'm beyond all that at this point. Like, it is what it is. This is me. This is what's going on. I'm not faking it. I'm just telling you how it is. You can watch the videos. You don't watch the videos. I mean, you like me, you think I'm a jackass. I don't, at this point, I don't care exactly. I care about getting healthy. And if posting the videos is going to help keep me accountable, because people like them or share them or comment on them, on those days when I don't want to go to the gym, which I had one just Saturday, I'm like, man, I don't want to go to the gym. Today is not the day. Can I just take a day off? And at that particular point, my wife was like, hey, you know what? Just do it. You'll feel better when you're done. You've been going steady, stay strong. And she kind of gave me a little nudge that day. But, her nudge, along with like the people that comment on the Facebook posts, I mean, they're kind of watching and making sure I'm doing it. And uh, I'll say rooting for me. I'm sure some of them are rooting for me. It's yeah, it keeps me accountable, and that's really good because I don't plan on stopping or quitting. Like, this weight's got to go, but knowing that people are keeping tabs on me helps a lot.
And it's interesting too, because I think what I keep saying to you is that, people are actually very inspired by what you're saying. We've
Uh,
had, I mean, and you've had clients like members and clients from our gym who come up to you and comment to you, not just online. And a ton of people comment online,
hmm,
but people come right up to you at the gym and say, listen, that's awesome. I'm so good job. That stuff it's surprising how many people you touch. Now, somebody that we're going to talk about real quick that you touched on a second ago that you touch, obviously,
hmm,
your wife. Your
right.
wife is super. I love the fact that she's so positive with everything on Facebook. She's always cheering for you. It's heartwarming. And from my point of view, as a trainer, what I've seen over the years is if somebody is in a relationship and that relationship is not supportive, they don't tend to be successful. If they need to lose weight, whatever their goal is, if their spouse isn't on board, male or female, and it happens lots of times, they're not successful. It doesn't work. It's super cool that your wife is. Tell me a little bit about that, because I just love seeing it. Every time I see her comment, I'm like, check that out. That's exactly the way this should be.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, like, she really has been awesome. I mean, for years she's been saying to me, like, "Hon, you really need to eat better. Why don't you eat more vegetables? Like, we got young kids; they need you around when you're older." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, right, all right, sure, I'll eat some more carrots." Like, and I kind of just shrugged it off because, like, I don't know, I like Big Macs and I like pizza and I like chicken taquitos for, there's all kinds of bad things that I like. So, you know, for her for years to be saying, eat better, like your kids need you, I need you around, like we don't want you dying of a heart attack. Uh, she's been kind of in my corner, pushing me to get better for a while now. But since I took the initiative and started coming over and hanging out with you guys and working out at the gym, uh, yeah, she's absolutely been like a number one cheerleader. Her and like my folks are, I don't want to say over the moon, but like, I guess if I was in their shoes, and because I've got young kids, and if I saw my son or my daughter, ballooning up to a massive size where their health is at risk, uh, I'd be over the moon too if I saw them finally starting to make positive changes to make their life better. So yeah, my parents are happy about it. My wife's happy about it. It's great to have that support for sure. Because man, like if my wife was, you know, I don't know, mean and nasty about it, if when she came home from work at 4 o'clock and I needed to go to the gym and she gave me shit about it, well, maybe it's easier to, I don't want to take the shit. I'll just not go to the gym and I'll watch Netflix with her and the kids and eat popcorn. But she's not like that. She is 100% go, do your workout. You know, Even last night, like I snuck in a workout. I had to get tires changed at Costco. And so I only had like 45 or 50 minutes that I could be at the gym. But she messaged me, an hour and 10 minutes in, did you get to the gym? Like, how was your workout? She's keeping tabs on me too, for sure. But it's good. I need that.
That's
So
amazing. That's a good relationship and a spouse that's on board. That's how people get successful. It really is. All right. Last question. And
uh,
this one for me is kind of a biggie. You started, you have gotten over that first hurdle, which is, really the first 2 or 3 weeks. You're already going in the right direction. Where do you feel like you're going to have challenges coming forward? Because everybody has them, right? I mean, you're lucky you have your wife's on board with you. Obviously, the
mhm,
whole family wants you to do well. you have the right mindset, I think, because you're positive about it. You like coming. We love seeing you.
Mhm.
Where do you see the next challenge to be? Is it just going to be that to stay consistent, or is the next challenge going to be something different?
Honestly, I think there's going to be a couple challenges. One, well, yeah, there's definitely going to be a couple. One is the weather. I mean, as it gets colder and the snow's flying and it's icy and slippery out, it's it's going to be a lot more tempting to say, "Ah, it's nice and warm in the house. I'll just put my feet up in the recliner and watch TV or play video games or something." That I know is going to be a challenge, because when I started in September, October, whenever I start in the last month, or since I started, uh, the weather's been decent. There's been some sunny days. It's easy to hop in the car and shoot on over to 360 and get a workout in. It's going to be a lot more difficult as the weather gets shittier. Uh, the the next challenge, I think, as well, is going to be making sure I'm pushing myself hard enough. And I think that's where keeping a trainer in my life is going to benefit me, because I need somebody that's, every week, every 2 weeks, or even once a month, whatever, I can justify from a cost standpoint. I need somebody there that's going to say, okay, you know what? Your muscles are getting used to doing this, this, and that. Let's switch it up and do something different. And I think not only is that going to help from a working different muscles perspective, but it's going to keep the going to the gym more interesting, because I'm not doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. So I think that'll be a challenge, making sure that I can keep a personal trainer in my corner. And I guess maybe the last thing is, parts of my body are maybe getting a little sore. So I got to make sure that, if my knees are sore, I got to figure out a way to keep getting my workout in, but maybe less knee strain for a little while until they heal up or recover. And I'm sure probably all kinds of people go through aches and pains, and the challenges of getting to the gym. But those are going to be my three, I think, for sure. Is that the weather, the trainer, yeah, and the sore body parts. But
Mark, this has been a pleasure. We're gonna do this again, and I think we should do this again in like a month or two, because I mean we're new to it right now, but I have a suspicion in a month or two we're gonna be down. We're down 10 inches in 2 weeks. We're gonna measure again this week. I think we're gonna see huge changes again. I love your attitude on this. I got to tell you, you are a joy to see all the time. I always look forward to you coming into the gym. We have great conversations, just like we did right now.
yeah,
We didn't script any of this stuff. We just winged it, because Mark and I, we have conversations just are totally, there's no, I said to him, I'm not going to interview you because it's not really an interview. We just talk all the time anyway.
yeah,
It's just the
yeah,
same. This
sure.
is what I think is going to be super cool. But in another, like, say 2 months, I want to
Mm.
do this again, because I think people are, first off, you're going to look a lot different.
I hope
and
so.
second,
I hope so.
and second off, I think it's just going to be cool to see where you are and how your
Mhm.
mindset has changed from this time.
Yeah, well, like even last night when I was in the gym, one of the trainers came up to me completely unsolicited, and he was like, "Hey, man, you're definitely losing inches." He says, "I can see it in your chest," and I'll tell you, it makes it a hell of a lot easier to keep pushing those chest press weights when somebody gives you a little, nudge in the shoulder and says, "Hey, good job, keep it up. I see the difference already." So yeah, I can't wait to get measured again, and see where I'm at now. And it kind of keeps me pushing for eating healthy too, because if I know that Frig Devin's going to measure me in 2 weeks, I don't want to be cheating and eating pizza, like bad foods, because I want to have those measurements and I want the numbers to show that all this working out is making a difference. So yeah, man, it really helps with the food eating aspect of it, because I know that somebody's measuring me in 2 weeks or a month or
There's
however
nothing,
often.
there's nothing like a little guilt to get you going. I say that all the time. In fitness, if there's a little guilt, it helps.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's somebody that is kind of looking over your shoulder, again, keeping you honest, I suppose. But anyway, it's been good. Like, uh I couldn't have asked for better experience than what I've had so far. Like, everybody's so friendly over there and encouraging, and people just like, they walk up to you. I've had two different trainers walk up to me that I haven't been paying and say, "Hey man, you're lifting this a little, not wrong, but hey, why don't you try lifting it this way instead of that way, and you'll see more benefit out of it." They're walking up to me, and I'm sure they walk up to all kinds of people, and they're actually, they care. Like, man, they're getting paid whether they come up and offer some of their professional advice or not, but they're offering their advice to make sure that you're getting the most out of your workouts. And I think that's really cool. The Your gym is, and I don't think I've ever told you this before. I have told other people this, but like, when I was young, I struggled in school, like in high school, and my parents saw me getting like 50s and 52s in my classes, and they ended up scraping the money together and putting me in private school for the last 2 years of high school, grade 11 and grade 12. And my marks in those 2 years went from 50s to 80s. And I attribute that to smaller class sizes
Wow.
and teachers that actually care. And your gym is kind of, to me, your gym is kind of like a private school. You're not the big box gyms, and you've got people that care. And I think it makes a much bigger difference in people's results. You're like the private school of gyms, if you will. And I think that's really awesome.
Mark, that is one of the nicest things I think anybody's ever said. I absolutely love that. I've said to you before, I grew up in a small town. In a small town, you take care of each other, and or you get in trouble because someone will, tell your parents. So
Yeah,
I always have been trying to create that atmosphere where, we're taking care of each other and we give a damn, because a lot of places don't. And then that's probably the nicest thank you. That is one of the nicest compliments I've ever gotten. That's incredible. I love that.
it's true. And I think it's a perfect analogy for what you got going on over there. So keep up the good work, man. Because when people come through that door, I don't know why anybody would leave. And I don't want. My father said to me last week one day, because I talk about you guys a lot on my Facebook videos, and he's like, you kind of sound like a pitch man for 360 Fit. And it's not that I want to sound like a pitch man for 360 Fit. It's that you guys are making that big of a difference in my life, and I can see that you're doing it in other people's lives. And I'm just excited to be there and tell people about 360 Fit. So, I mean, if I can talk about it a little bit, and one of my friends on Facebook or a friend's wife or somebody goes, "Oh man, that sounds like a good place to be," then, at least I don't want to say I've done my part, but if I can tell people about you guys and it makes an impression in somebody else's life, then that's awesome.
Yeah,
I hope I
I
get a few.
appreciate I appreciate that so much, my brother. I really do. That was super kind. Mark,
Well, there it is.
we're going like 2 months. We're going to do this sucker again. Okay. We're going to do this
Totally.
again. And
I'm
I
down.
cannot wait to see the differences.
Well, we'll keep plugging away. I'm not stopping. Like I tell people all the time, I'm not stopping. I'm not quitting. So there's going to be some changes, that's for sure. But I will. I know
I
you're trying to wrap
cannot, we
this
all
up.
can't wait to see the changes, man.
Well, we'll do this again in 2 months for sure.
I cannot wait. Mark Publicover, thank you so much. Check him out. Check it out on my Facebook page. Mark does amazing videos. Mark, thank you for coming.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, man.